So, do you remember just about 5 minutes ago when I had all that good stuff to say about the Lord of the Rings books by one J.R.R. Tolkien? Yeah. Oh, Amazon, how I love you, but um, Amazon Prime Video. So, let's talk about the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. Where to start? Well, first off, let's just for comedy read the description, courtesy of, I guess, Wikipedia. So this series brings to screens for the very first time the heroic legends of the fabled Second Age of Middle-earth's history. This will be important. This epic drama is set thousands of years before the events of J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and takes viewers back to an era in which great power, and that's where it cuts off. Wait. Okay, let's just keep on reading. In which great powers were forged. Kingdoms rose to glory and fell to ruin. Unlikely heroes were tested. Hope hung by the finest of threads, and the greatest villain that ever flowed from Tolkien's pen threatened to cover all the world in darkness, beginning in a time of relative peace. The series follows an ensemble cast of characters, both familiar and new, as they confront the long-feared reemergence. Sorry, it took me a while to figure out that word. Of evil to Middle-earth. From the darkest depths of the misty mountains to the majestic forests of the elf capital of Lindon, to the breathtaking island kingdom of Numenor, to the furthest reaches of the map. These kingdoms and characters carve out legacies that live on long after they are gone. Okay, so that's the description. But there is just so much wrong with this. Okay, so first and foremost, I haven't watched a single episode. Why haven't I? Because I don't own Amazon Prime Video, and it's fairly cheap, but I just don't want to watch it. and I just don't want to buy a subscription that I would never use. Amazon Prime Video is one of these. But I did post I just posted a question on the Lord of the Rings group that I showed you that I'm a part of. Is the Ring of Power worth watching? A lot said, yeah. Well, the minority said yes. People were telling me to watch it and make up my mind for myself. I really don't want to do that. Not because I'm lazy, but because I really just don't want to watch it. And the vast majority was saying no, that is complete garbage. There was actually an argument that took place over this. So let's talk about the Rings of Power and why does it just absolutely blow chunks. So this takes place during the beginning of the second age of Middle Earth. So what happened what happened? So Sauron just ups and disappears. First red flag, who is Sauron? If you don't know who Sauron is, this will not make any sense. And this also won't make sense to this. Sauron is the big bad that they are pushing. But who came before Sauron? The god that came before Sauron is Morgoth. Morgoth and Sauron... Well, Morgoth is above Sauron. Sauron was only a lieutenant. So Morgoth is defeated. It is defeated by the last alliance of the Free People. Well, peoples, sorry. But why does Sauron disappear? Sauron this is what happens. Ready for it? Sauron doesn't get all the way defeated. But Sauron gets his finger sliced off, and the finger that he got sliced off was the finger that had the One Ring. He channeled so much of his power into the One Ring that after after that finger was severed, he had to go into a spiritual form, I guess. He's very weak, and so that's why he, disappears. But make no mistake, he's still powerful nonetheless. So, um, oh, good lord. So, let's talk about Gandalf. Gandalf is prominent through the books and through the movies. How does Gandalf show up in Rings of Power? I kid you not, he crashes to Earth. Well, he crashes to Middle Earth like a freaking meteorite. What? There are many things wrong with the Rings of Power. First off, this shouldn't be a Lord of the Rings property because it follows none of the pre-existing lore from Tolkien himself. Now, if you are a fan of this series and I offend you in any way, I'm sorry. But to me, this is a giant waste of money on Amazon's part. Now, let's go deeper. So we've already established that Sauron just didn't up and disappear on account of Morgoth's defeat. Sauron got defeated because of the ring, because of the One Ring leaving him, it was basically game over from that point for him, even though he's still powerful and he still controls everything behind the scenes for Mordor and Rune and Mordor and his allies. So, here's the thing. We get to... I'm trying to remember her name. Oh, I forget it. I forgot her name. Her name's not important, I guess. But, so there's this woman, something with a G. Grendril? I think it's Grendril. Sorry, I am just bad. So I'm gonna call the woman's name Gendril. I know I'm probably gonna get roasted in the comments. I honestly don't care. But Grendril. She just meets people in the middle of freaking nowhere and decides that it's a good idea to go with them, nothing suspicious going on here. Except it's Sauron and his forces. But this just doesn't put two and two together. Well, she doesn't anyway. So, it's Sauron and his forces and everything. There's there's a time in one episode where Mordor is being attacked, and there's a hill that would greatly reduce the enemy's numbers, but they just go, no, we're gonna stay in Mordor and make our stand here. What? Okay. First off, the female, Grindril, she grows up way too quickly. She already has kids and is queen and everything like that. I think one of the most egregious things that Rings of Power did was the diversity thing. Now, let's take Game of Thrones, for example. Game of Thrones, you're going through all these different climates which have all these different kinds of people. So, okay. So, like, you would have African actors and actresses to fit with the demographic of the location. Rings of Power, that's a big thing they were pushing, was diversity. But in all honesty, there is no diversity whatsoever found within Rings of Power. Instead, everyone just looks the same. Also, this wouldn't be so bad, but it's either the creators of this series only have a surface level analysis of the series, or they actually never picked up a book or watched one of the Peter Jackson movies. Because the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power, is an insult. It's an insult. It really is. Now, there may be good acting, but from what I understand is that a lot of it's not good acting, and a lot of the scripts, well, a lot of the dialogue is not good. Oh, and let's not forget that Rings of Power is getting $60 million an episode. I did not make that up. I looked it up beforehand. They're getting 60 mil. And this is the best they can do. Oh, and also, it's coming back for a second season, so, more power to you, but this is bad. It's not Tolkien. If Tolkien was alive, he would be looking at it and be like, that's not my story at all. stay away from the Lord of the Rings of Power. That's the best I can give you. So, I'm Hardcore Christopher. If you would like to be a member of our community, hit the subscribe button down below and make sure you ring the bell and click all for every time I upload a video. If you don't, it's okay, I still respect you. At the end of the day, I'm just glad that you chose to spend a little bit of your time here with me. Keep it hardcore, everyone.